We get it from my mama. We get it from my mama. We get it from my mama. We get it.
Hey guys, this is Two Melanin Mommies again, and my name is Olympica.
And I'm Cicely.
And today we're going to be talking about just some things that we've been talking about together, and it's about self-care, just about taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally. Sometimes as moms we can, and wives, and just women period, we take on a lot of things and we sometimes forget about ourselves. So we just wanted to kind of talk about that, introduce you guys to some of the stuff that we use, some of our techniques for de-stressing and self-care, just down to a few beauty products, teas.
Mommy tea.
Yes, and today we have our tea.
It's a little funky.
And it is a stress tea, so let's just get on into it. So yes, we are using stress tea. This is one of my go-tos. This is kept me off Xanax, so if anyone wants to not get a prescription, you want to try what's more holistic things. So this is just something I got out of Food for Less, and for anybody that's like out of town, it's like a Kroger's. And it is in Spanish, but it is just a stress tea. Some of the ingredients, it's equivalent to like a chamomile. It has like bay leaf and lemongrass and
Passion
things like that.
flower, yarrow flower, whatever yarrow is, I don't know, and linden flower.
Yeah, so it's just a little package. It's only like $1.29. I believe you get like 4 little tea bags in here, and just put a little lemon, a little honey in it, kind of soothes, have a quiet space. And that's usually one of my little go-to things to do to kind of de-stress. And like I said, to avoid Xanax and prescriptions and things like that. A lot of stuff that now I see that we're going to either self-medicating or getting these prescriptions from the doctors that really don't do anything. And sometimes we have to think about that, the narcotic aspects of, these prescriptions and stuff like that.
Even though some people might need a prescription.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Try as much holistic,
right?
And I say meditation, yoga, things like that prior to taking that next step. But some people really do need a prescription,
right? And that's more of the approach that we're at. Like not if you feel on the edge and haven't went over the edge. And by no means are we saying like, we're medical experts or anything like this. So this is just coming from a more of experience, our own research, and, just things that, we like to do.
And talking to different women.
Right. And I noticed that, like I said, with us taking on a lot of things, we forget a lot about of ourselves to take care of ourselves, and we become overly stressed, overly angry, just irritated and bitter, just to me, because we don't take those moments out to do certain things, like just taking a moment, read a book, take a walk, a
bath with candles,
right, just little small things. Bath and Body Works, I even use the stress line where it's aromatherapy. It uses essential oils, and I use that sometimes in the shower at night before you go to bed. I even have some where you just smell it. And, I use that like while I'm working, because, I work in insurance. Sometimes you can get high stress just dealing with a lot of people and their issues all day. So I'll have that at my desk, and I'll kind of just sniff it throughout the day and things like that. Just kind of like just calm and, just take a breather. And sometimes just breathing will do that. And I've tried yoga, all kinds of things. I have some books, and that we'll get to showing you guys tonight.
Behind us is another one of her remedies. Right now we're smelling it, we're living it. It is the diffuser. And what essential oils did you use?
Tonight I just used peppermint and lavender. Those are two stress oils, but also it's like a cedar wood one that you can use. There's like the lemongrass as well. But all of these things can be researched in Google, just depending on what you want to do. They have all kinds of essential oils that you can use for clarity, for concentration. I got this off of Amazon. Very good price. We'll put the link below.
Called the
for it.
Diffuser Love.
And I got 2. So, and again, I'm frugal. So this came with 2. And then you can go also just get essential oils. You can either buy them individually, you can get them all in a pack if you kind of want to try some. They come some with blends already, like if you need something for sleep, if you need something like a muscle relaxer, they have some that's already blended up for you to use in it. Just uses a little bit of water and gets the job done. I also put that in, like when I'm working, I'll put it in my office, things like that. I'll put it in the room at night and maybe use the sleep, or put lavender, because that's another one for soothing. But like I said, all of that stuff can be Google. Do your research on Google. That's what I kind of did to see, like, how I'm feeling. If I want to feel, a little bit of happier, I'll look to see what essential oil that's for. Like I said, if I want to use something to de-stress, I'll look at what oils will aid and help with that.
As far as for me, I'm not a big stressor, but what I do to get my own peace and calmness is I love baths. That's one of my favorite things, is the bath. I could take one of those almost every day. I love just using all different kind of body oils, body lotions. Lately, I've just been into this whole total skincare from face to body. So that's been one thing that's where I've been finding my happiness and even making me feel good. Another good thing is just to spend time alone, be in your thoughts, make sure things are in order. Sometimes if your house is out of order, your bills are out of order, everything is in a complete mess, you definitely cannot have clarity, think clearly, and know how to move forward. And those are some things that I think are really good for women to practice, and stops doubting ourselves and second guessing ourselves and things that we feel we want to do, and we can even just get out there and do. I've come to a point now at my age where if I set my mind to something, I'm definitely going to do it, even if I know I'm not good at it. I feel eventually I will get at it. I can make it happen. So we also have to believe in ourselves. I had a conversation recently, maybe like about a month or 2 ago, where I was talking to a mom, and she definitely is younger than me, and we've all have definitely been there, where sometimes, like Olympia said before, when our kids are young, we have a lot on our plate, so we're trying to take care of our kids while they're young. We're also trying to run a household. We're also trying to maintain a relationship, and then still find time to take care of ourselves. And I've done it myself before, not give as much self-care to myself or put time into myself, being focused on everyone else around me. But I noticed it didn't make me my better self. Even though I was giving my family 100%, it still wasn't good self-care for me.
Right. And if you're all stressed, are you really giving your family 100%? If you're stressed, and like I said, easily moved to anger and being irritated, are you really giving your best self? And I get it. Sometimes, the expectations that we put on ourselves from others, can be mind-boggling. Yeah. I mean, I deal with it too. Like sometimes, and it's not even the other person. Sometimes it's not even intentionally on the other person, and that's not what I'm touching on. I know sometimes just the pressure you can be under. Like we were having the conversation, like either like sometimes your family, your mother, just trying to live up sometimes to people's expectations,
or even your friends and people around you. You have to cut negativity. I'm just going to be honest with that. Sometimes it could be your circle that's even holding you back, or even making you more stressed because you're taking on their stress, their issues, so it begins to even bog you down. So I would even say be careful of the company you keep.
Right.
Make sure that people that you are having around you want to see you blessed, want to see you happy, just love you, don't want to see your downfall. And that's my whole thing. I love seeing others win, including myself winning, because if one of us win, we all won.
Right. And that's how I am too. Like even if I'm not happy, I could still be happy for somebody else. And I know that's hard for a lot of people. And that's where a lot of to me, like the hate and the strife comes in, when we don't hone in on that. It's not always times that you're going to be feeling well or feeling happy, but that doesn't mean that somebody else's happiness looks hateful to you or is an intimidation to you. So, and I think that we should all keep that kind of in perspective. Like, yeah, these are all emotions that we go through, normal emotions, to get sad, to feel certain things about something. But when you let it spill out, and that's where we're going, like, to spill out. Sometimes you have to break the negativity. You have to break the social norms. And that brings me to like the whole thing when everybody's talking about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Like, I really respect that. Like, I can imagine that being such a stressful life to live, and then on top of it, her being a woman of color, which is something out of the norm. And then I could see the stories. I was all excited about it. You know, I love the whole princess and prince thing, you know, but I could see how it was a total difference of how sometimes you're treated coming from somewhere that you don't really come from, or somewhere where you
and
don't
taking
belong.
on others' traditions to where you might not even be able to incorporate your own tradition.
Right. So I admire the fact to break that, and that is a strong tradition. And to break that and say, you know what, I choose happy. I choose me. I don't choose a whole country of people that basically don't care about me, really. They care about themselves and what they think that I should be doing. And because they felt like they were paying them, or, you know, like, this is a taxpayer money. Oh, let me take pictures of your baby and I could say anything I want. And, you know, just bringing her down every chance they got, everything that I read. And then even when they've been comparing the things that they say about Princess Kate and then her, like, totally different. Like, when Princess Kate is talking about her baby or rubbing her stomach, it's like it's normal. Then when I seen a story of Meghan Markle, they're like, oh, she just thinks she's entitled. Oh, she's pregnant with that baby, and, like, you know. So I love the way
so
that
it's racist.
Yeah, but they're blatantly saying that. But that is the stuff that can bring you down. That is. I'm just saying, reading some of the stuff, like, that's why you even have to kind of like back up a little bit off of social media sometimes. It was bringing me down. Just the people that I don't even know. And they're not specifically talking about me, but when I see racist comments, like, oh, it just made me want to, like, get defensive and type back in and just go on a rate. And I just had to be like,
get off.
You know what? Yes.
Shut it down.
I had to be like, I have to stop this. But it was sad to be.
It was shocking. Some of it's kind of shocking where you're like, whoa.
Right. Even though racism,
like this, but to feel it and see it is still completely different.
And I felt the need to defend myself, defend Black people as a whole, you know, like.
And you're one woman.
Right. And it was too much. So I can't stop all of that, but I can control what I do. I can control, you know, how much time I spend, or, you know, reading these comments, or just don't do it. And that's just basically where I have come to. But people's judgments, plain meanness, racism, it will bring you down. So I admire the fact that if you can break tradition, to choose yourself. Even like we were talking, and we had a debate about this, about the Summer Walker, even her saying, acknowledging, I have, you know, this social anxiety, even though I'm this person that have these talents and that could sing, like, I need to do what I can do within my mental health. And I admire that too.
She still has to be careful with some of the things that she portrays on social media. Sometimes social media, it's okay to be authentic and totally be yourself. But some things is TMI and people will run with it. I might be okay with it, but it's people, some mean people online, judgmental, want to bring you down. So you do have to be careful of some of the things you're putting out there. For instance, we've even seen where there's even couples sometimes online where they're portraying that they are just in this happy, beautiful, blissful relationship because it's on social media and you could just portray any story that you want. But is it really real?
Right. And then to compare yourself to that, to say, oh, I want that, when you really don't even know what's going on. You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of times people tell you and show you what they want you to know. Sometimes, you know, and if you're close enough to that person, you can read between the lines. But if you don't know them from Adam, You know what I mean? You can only take what it is that they're portraying out there. And sometimes it's not real. Sometimes it's not fake. So we still have to live within our own.
So men and women, don't compare your relationship to what you are seeing on social media. People can be in happy relationships and barely post their partners or things that they're even doing online.
Right. So it doesn't mean they're unhappy.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're not posting it. And we're not necessarily saying that if the couple that post all the time and
is
makes
unhappy.
Is unhappy.
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying either. We're just saying, like, as people and having human emotions, like, we need to keep those things in perspective.
A lot of things still sometimes is fraud. I still feel a lot of people portray a total story on social media a lot of times.
I still have a lot of faith in humanity, that it's still more good things going on than bad.
I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying that, but I am saying don't try and base the standards of your relationship on what's being portrayed there. Because like she said, you just really never really know what's going on.
I even think that we need to break out of some of these traditions even now. A lot of this stuff is not working for people. Like people that this whole tradition, like, you know, where we're supposed to be married. I don't feel like everybody is supposed to be married. You can be single, free, happy. You know, I feel like a lot of these things are just societal norms that a box, you know, that we fit in. But sometimes you're not a box. You're a circle, an octagon.
If you're comfortable with that.
Right.
I totally believe in marriage, and I come from a background where my parents are still
but if it's
together
not for
today.
You, but if it's not for you,
but they're still together today.
Don't do it, because
and
that's
still
what
a beautiful
society
thing.
And I love
but if
that.
you're not ready, I don't feel or that is something you should do at all. Because I have met people
it's
where
gonna
they
be
say it's not for them.
Added stress. That is going to be a big stress in your life. Marriage, it is. It's good stress. It's bad stress. But
some partners can be more stressful than others.
Right. Absolutely. So that's what
I wouldn't
I'm
just
saying.
say marriage is just a stressful thing if you have a partner where you could work at things together. If you both believe in each other and are pretty much, I would even say, equally yoked, it's less stressful. It's going to be more stressful the less you guys are equally yoked.
Right.
So to me, the best thing is not to settle. I'm even saying this to my men and to my ladies as well. Never settle. You know, it's always, you can work on things with your partners and make things better, and everybody gets comfortable in their own relationship. But the whole thing is, you know, that bond is going to continue to be there if you guys know that basically you're still growing together and moving forward. The part where you know it's pretty much time to let go is, I guess we would say, what if you felt infidelity, abuse, you know what I mean? You're growing, this person isn't growing, or your partner is growing and you're not growing. Because I've even seen where sometimes people, they want to base their happiness on their partner.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that's fair at all, because part of your happiness is yourself.
Yeah, and the inside.
Are you doing things you're happy?
Again.
Are you happy with the things that you're doing?
And that's a lot of pressure.
Are you doing things that you enjoy yourself? Where also those things you're happy with and your partner has their own things going on as well. Can you guys bring those together and still be happy? Not just saying, oh, well, you are my happiness. I should be happy because of you.
And imagine the pressure of the other person.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a high anxiety person. So I don't want to feel that pressure of being someone's all their happiness, because I'm human. I'm gonna let you down. If that's what you're doing, I'm gonna let you down, because I'm not always happy every day. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how I would be able to just give you that every day. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know, as far as like people like in a marriage and things like that, if that's what you're expecting, and you know, we both been married, and it, you know, and I can only speak for myself, you know, it hasn't been a perfect marriage. We have had trials and tribulations and to work things out. And so that's why I'm saying, like, you know, it is a very important thing to pick someone equally yoked. Me and my husband, we have an age difference. So that adds to our stress. And I get that now. I get it, and I can acknowledge it. And it's either something to work through or not.
Yeah.
But to be in denial about it makes it even worse. It makes it even more stressful. But I do get where sometimes where some of our conflicts come in is because of that that difference. It's because
it could be age. To me, it could be if you're dating somebody out of your race.
Yeah,
y'all come from two completely different upbringings, and that still is part of finding somebody equally yoked.
Right. And then even sometimes even too, and some of our single people too. And I have a good book that I brought. Actually, a few books, but this one. Iyanla. It's been out for a long time, and it's called "In the Meantime: Finding Yourself and the love that you want." And so it's kind of like just a guide about self-love, and like you love yourself first, then you can kind of attract like a better partner, or at least kind of know what it is that you want and what you don't want. So this is a good book. Like I said, In the Meantime, you can get it off Amazon. I had this book years and years ago, and I misplaced it, but I had read it, and then so I found it again at like a secondhand bookstore, and so I bought it again. But it's always a good read, and everybody knows Iyanla. She comes with the good advice. And then also this one, Acts of Faith. I've been having this for like 20 years. She redid. This is the 25th edition, and it's just like a basic thing. Something
that a woman should read every day who needs a little bit more inspiration.
It's just like a daily affirmation. Like some days I could and it's by date. Some day I could read it and like it's spot on, like it was for me. And then some days I can relate it to something like maybe my friend is going through, or maybe my husband is going through, or maybe it's something that I could let him read. So I recommend these two books. And
definitely
ladies.
Back to what she said about working on yourself. I'm a true believer of that, because before I met my husband, it was something that I had even prayed upon, thought about things I should change, what I was looking for when it came to a husband, what I was willing to deal with, and even things that they would be willing to deal with and not deal with. And so when I met him, it was just like everything for our relationship was full circle, because I did think about some of the things that I did want in a husband. So I'm going to even tell that to men and women before going into any serious relationship. First of all, you need to have rules. You need to know what kind of expectations you want moving forward. You have to try and be a better person every day. Like she said, everybody's human. Everybody's going to have ups and downs. No one's perfect. But at the same time, you need to come in with a good heart and knowing what you're looking for and when you come into it. Because I knew when I met him, I wanted a husband, but I was never dependent upon him to make me happy. Even till this day, we've probably been together damn near 20 years. And to me, I know he is not my happiness. He's just a part of my happiness. He is my life partner. He is my husband. But I still have to be Cicely, have my own things going on, do things that interest me, do things that make me happy. As you see me and her, we're even best friends. I'm a true believer. People always need friends and family around them. You should not just be set in a bubble of your family or your husband and it's just you and him.
Right. Or putting all that pressure, even it goes both ways, putting that pressure even on your husband to make you happy. It's not going to be enough. For women, it's not. What about when he gets unhappy or he got friends or he has things to do? We always have to have something else. We got to have something else besides our kids, besides our husband. And like I said,
cooking
the happiness, right? Because sometimes, it can make a life full, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that is going to,
or make you happy.
Yeah, make you happy or make life exciting, but we got to remember and put an effort into those things, go out.
And also remember it's a time and a place for those things. I get it. Right. Sometimes you do have to be completely focused on your family, men and women, before you can begin to be a little bit more selfish and do a take back and say, what are some things I want to do moving forward? So even for my mothers that are just so consumed with their kids, because I remember my daughter was graduating. People were telling me like, oh, what are you going to do now? I'm going to have a life for myself now. What do you mean? Just because now that she's not home, I'm supposed to not have my own life, my own goals, my own ambitions. No, I did what I had to do for the moment, and time constantly change. And you see, even today, I'm doing a YouTube channel, something me and her, we never thought we would even did 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, because this is just so not me. I'm so more behind the scenes type of person, not someone so much as like look at me. So believe me, before this all happened, I have to pump myself up. I think about it the night before, but I'm like at this point in my life where I have been stressed, and I haven't been 100% happy with some of the way the things have went, and that's fine. But you do things to change it.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right.
Is what I always tell her.
And so now I'm trying.
You're not always comfortable in everything
different things
you do.
out of the box. Coming out of my box, coming in front of the camera.
Judgment from you, the people we don't even know, people watching us that we don't even know.
Right. Getting just preparing
people
for
we
that.
do know watching us and still may have an opinion about it. But
that's more of my pressure. It's more of the people that I do know. It's more pressure from my family, like I said, like trying to live up to their expectations. And so I've been dealing with that for a while now, and so I'm just like trying to put a lot of that into perspective, just to like get over it. People are going to have their expectations, but what are yours? And again, it has to come down to sometimes you choose yourself, even over your family, your partner, your job.
Because you can't always make everybody happy.
And it's hard. It's hard sometimes, especially if you like a person that's like a people pleaser, and I know it's a lot of us out there that's that too, but we got to let that go too, because there's a lot of people out there in the world, and we're going to disappoint some of them. We're not going to be able to make everybody happy. And that adds to a lot of stress too, to even just try to keep up with that.
Mm-hmm. So young women, remember that. Even my teenage girls, and I really want to say this to some of my mothers, because the field that I've been working in recently, I've been seeing younger and younger women coming in looking for certain beauty products that I just don't think are appropriate for women at a certain age. And I think we need to basically, to me, once again, love ourselves, love all our imperfections, you know what I mean? Know as you age, you can even become more beautiful and do certain things, but sometimes if you start some things too soon, where do you go from there?
Right.
So moms, even still kind of monitor your daughters when it comes to them even watching these influencers online. And I do love rap music, and I do love getting ratchet at times, but I'm an adult, you know what I'm saying?
And we put it more in a perspective of it's still of entertainment.
Exactly.
It's still almost like, and even if the ratchet movie's like a alter ego type of thing, and then like you're back to reality. Not that even like you're taking it in again. It's just something like a entertainment thing. It's
teach your daughter's brains over beauty, because to me the beauty will still just show if you're just, to me, a beautiful person inside and out. I love coming across a woman where you'd be like, I loved her to death. She had a great soul, a great person. I loved her energy. See, I get more stressed if I have somebody around me who's negative, somebody who's not positive, somebody that's depending on me for happiness, somebody that wants to just depend on me just to unload on me everything they're unhappy about. And believe me, I don't mind being there for anybody. But when it gets to a point to where you keep telling a person things can change, things will get better, you won't always be in this rut, because we have all been there. But when they see doom and gloom and there's not going to be any better days, I can't deal with that.
Yeah, well, it's just sometimes
those are the things
you can't tell people. Some
but when you love them, it's hard,
right? And you want to love them out of that rut,
yes.
But sometimes it's not going to happen, and we have to realize that. Like just like we can't love anybody out of addiction, we can't. It has to be on that person. So sometimes we gotta save ourselves.
And women, please, I would say, do not self-medicate. There's nothing wrong with having a good time and having drinks and doing things that you love to do, but I notice with women, it's a lot more self-medicating when we are unhappy. And I would just love for us to find somewhere else to put that energy. And that's what I mean. I'm here to help anybody and be there for anyone. I know every day isn't a good day. But
it's ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's healthy ways to deal with it, and that's what we're talking about. That's mainly what we're talking about. More healthy
to bring
ways,
it all together,
right? More healthy ways to deal with certain things. Like I said, this is something like if you're feeling on the edge, not if you're over the edge already. You might need to watch another video, not this one. But this is what
we're talking more mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual
well-being.
Exactly,
well-being,
bringing it together as a whole,
right? And just little tips for, like I said, we get busy too and forget about ourselves,
overwhelmed,
right? But I felt like now is the time for me to do things differently, to change some of the things that I didn't like about myself, didn't like about what's going on in my life, things like that. Not to say too that if you do a self-check, you're not like, oh, I'm the worst person in the world. That's not what that is. But every day we should be evolving and growing. That's why, just different, like I said, I always involve myself into books and different things like that, like having different experts' advice.
And you have 2 other books sitting over here. What were those books about? Were those about any mental or physical, emotional?
Yeah, actually these are still in the lines of what we're talking about, things about de-stressing. So this actually I got these out when we went to the Festival of Lights. So that's out here in Riverside, Michigan. People that live out in the Inland Empire, they would know about that. It's a family event that goes from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and they have a lot of vendors and things out there. So it was actually this like a yoga table out, and they had all these books and stuff, and they were actually free.
And stuff.
It was basically made on happiness, karma, meditation, yoga,
everything
energy,
me and her are about
right and things that we're talking about. So he recommended, he's like a Swami there, and he recommended like this. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the names of the authors, but I'll say the names of the book. So this one is Hiding in Unnatural Happiness. So I just kind of started reading this, and it's just like basically trying to achieve your natural happiness, happiness authentic. In the inside. What is your true happiness? Not the next person, not what society says you should be happy
on your
about.
Face, giving one face, but knowing you're really unhappy. And women, I've come across women who told me they've gone through depression. It was really a depressing time, but
if you come out of it, like I said, every moment we get ill physically, you can get ill mentally, but it doesn't. And like how we get well physically, you get over that cold, you can get over this depression, you can get over whatever this stuff is that's mentally bothering you. And if you think about it, any challenges that really you've had in your life, you've gotten over those.
Yeah.
And I have to keep that in perspective in my life too. Like I've been stressed so much, and knowing at the end of the day it's going to work out. And then when it works out, then you're like, oh my God, I did all that stressing and all that for no reason at all. So again, this is another one here, hiding in unnatural happiness. And then this is another one. It's called The Science of Self-Realization. And this one is basically talking about karma, how to
something I totally believe in.
Right. And I mean, when
what you put out, you will receive back.
And the Indian people, they really believe in a lot of that, like the karma and stuff like that, like how to get it's like techniques of even how to get the bad karma, away and things like that. It talks about meditation. It talks about yoga, and these are still things that like you could do at home, like
to me,
not saying to go out and join a yoga class.
Key. And that even goes back to what I said, me knowing what I wanted prior to moving forward before getting married. It took self-thought, meditating, going deep. What did I do wrong? What bad decisions did I make? I couldn't blame everybody else. It was my decisions that brought me to that point.
Right. And that's what I had to realize too. Like a lot of things, like I had to come to like, you know what? Like I have manifested a lot of these things in my life. You know what I mean? Like sometimes by too many negative thoughts, that stuff comes into play.
Fear.
Yeah, fear. You're scared. You're basically paralyzed. To where you're not even getting out, making the next moves, making moves that you should make, you know, like even like when me and my husband's going through things in our marriage, like I just still scared to move, like so scared and watching what he's gonna do and what's his next move, when really I should have been focused on myself and what my moves were gonna be while he's working out whatever he working out, because that's like how a marriage is.
Self-happiness.
When you're not strong, your partner, hopefully they can be. And then vice versa. If your partner, you see them falling apart, you can't fall apart with them, you know. But that's kind of like what I did. And then one day, like I just had to say, you know what? While he's going through that, I still have to make the best decisions for me. I still have to pick me. I still have a child to take care of. I still have things that I need to do and be happy about. Even if he's not happy right now, he may not ever be happy. Does that mean
even if it was
I'm
vice versa,
right.
he had to do the same thing.
Right.
So it goes both ways. So check yourself is all I'm saying, male or female. And
that is the key to happiness and de-stressing yourself. You cannot control what other people do. You will drive yourself crazy. And believe me, when I was trying to control what my husband was doing and not doing, like, oh my God, I felt so much rage and anger and stress inside. And then once I let that go and say, you know what will be, and I have to focus myself on what I'm supposed to do, whether it's with him or without him, then things were a lot light. Like, you know, not saying things perfect, it's still a work in progress, a lot of things, but like I said, every day should be evolving
on working on her is basically what she's saying, to be a better person moving forward in her marriage. So basically, I guess we pretty much wrapped up some things. We're most likely going to have to bring this up again because we will have more favorite things that we're constantly using that makes us feel good. Another thing that really makes me feel good is makeup. It's one of my favorite obsessive things.
And all of these people that think like it's a shallow thing, and it's not. If you want to look, sometimes that is a boost for you to like look at yourself. Oh, I'm looking pretty. I'm feeling myself. There is nothing wrong with that.
Believe me, for years I did not wear makeup. I've probably only been doing this 6 months, and it's not even to put on this face for other people. Right. It's just finally I found things that work for me, and I'm happy I could buy them and they make me feel good. Same way for Olympica. And like I said, even down to skincare, I've been trying to focus more on making sure my skin is beautiful underneath. I'm using SPFs. I'm using things to make me feel soft. I'm using things to make my skin still just look as smooth and feel as soft. And I want women to know that.
Right. Because if you look your best,
you feel better.
You do. You feel your best. Y'all know what we talking about when you go and get your hair done, that hair done, and you know you like, oh, I'm a new woman. It's a new me. It's just like that. So whether it's down to hair, whether it's down to skin, makeup, whatever, making yourself, like you said, look beautiful.
Infusers.
Right. As long as you're not trying
Melanin
to
Mommy
do
Funky Tea.
And as long as you're not trying to do the whole makeup and the pretty, like, oh, I'm killing it. Like,
and that's totally not me.
Now that's another stress there.
That's not me.
See, that's another stress when you're trying to go out there and do it for other people, you know. But if you keeping it 100 for you, then I feel like that's it. It's self-care. It's something that makes you feel good, right? No, because it's stressful. Competing women is stressful, and a lot of times I'm gonna let you know when you're competing with somebody. A lot of times that person you competing with is oblivious, or they're not competing with you, or they don't even know why.
Exactly.
You would compete with them. So you might want to think about that. You know, when you feel the urge and the need to compete and put yourself in this stressful situation, maybe take a moment. of silence, a little bit of meditation,
shut
think
down
about
social media,
and you may not even want.
Don't
think
even
about
pay
you don't
attention
have to,
to that. Focus on things that are going to make you a better person and make you feel good moving forward, which means you're not competing with anybody. You're just doing, that's where it comes down to your mental and spiritual, well-being. You have to think about those things. It's not about being shallow. It's about mentally and physically and spiritually working on those things, because we all are every day, and we're nowhere near perfect, like we said before. And like I said, I'm not a high stress person, but I have to be careful of, for me, is the company I keep, the people around me. It could even be the company I'm working for. If they're bringing me down where I even have to keep putting on a fake face and not even truly be my authentic self, I can't do it. I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not telling nobody to quit their jobs.
Right, because we know everybody. And that's another stress. If you quit your job and you don't have no money, believe us, we know that too.
I just happened to be in that position where I had that option. And for me, with me thinking positive and knowing how I want to move forward and be treated with self-respect and even giving back self-respect, I have to just be in the right environment around the right people, dealing with the right people, even down to the products that I'm using. If it's clothes, something that it says on the clothes, to what I'm taking inside of my body, food, So, I mean, it goes deep, but we just wanted to have a little chat, woman to woman, talk about our marriages, talk about self-care. Later on, I guess we'll get more into some of the skincare and face products and things that we have been dealing with. Olympica's even going to be reading many more books because, Melanin Mommy loves to read.
I wish I had more time, with working and being a mom and stuff, I'm not able to read as much, but yeah, I try
But we love just sharing our thoughts and knowledge and just coming on here and speaking about different things that we're interested in.
Yeah, so just a little recap on all of the things that we mentioned. So again, the diffuser Love, this one comes in a 2-pack. You can get 2 diffusers. It has 2 chargers. It has a little thing where you can pour the water in and everything. I believe I only paid like $15 for 2 of them, and then you can go on there. They have all different essential oils. You can get some from Sprouts, TJ Maxx, things like that. This stress tea.
It says Dono Remedios Nervios Stress. No disrespect. I'm just saying it the best way I know how.
And then again, the Science of Self-Realization. This is the one that's on yoga, meditation, things like that. And believe me, meditation, I know it's hard. It's hard to focus, to get all of your thoughts out. But, so that's why I even got this
Or
book.
start writing down your thoughts every day, just on a piece of paper. Keep a journal and write down those thoughts so you can begin to see things into fruition.
Right.
Those are also things that I should say that worked for me.
Yeah.
I wrote down things and I seen the vision and it happened for me.
Or daily affirmations. That worked for me too. I put little stickies up. Like one of my favorite ones right now that I have been saying is that I see myself with the best and I see myself with it now. So I put that up on my mirror. I put it up in my office.
And I'm the best,
and I look at it every day and I say it every day. I see myself with the best and I see myself with the now. So, and then, Unnatural Happiness, because this is going a little bit long. And then
But thank you again, like we said, for watching. We love you guys so much. We want to get new followers. We have on our new shirts that Melanin Mommy Mama Joyce bought us in New Orleans when Olympica had went during Thanksgiving, during the holidays.
Yeah, to the
watch that previous
Classic.
Video. You guys would definitely see pictures and things like that from the band. But thank you so much and bye.
I got melanin. Oh yeah. I got melanin.